We are living in such a weird time. Seriously. On the one hand, we've got this explosion in artificial intelligence that feels like it's pulled straight from science fiction. But on the other hand, the world feels like it's constantly on a knife's edge, just fraying with all this conflict and instability. This is the great divergence.
And that brings us to the big question, the one we're going to dig into today. What actually happens when our tech genius starts moving way, way faster than our ability to just get along? Let's kick things off with the technology side.
So yeah, let's start with the tech. Because what's happening in AI right now, it isn't just some minor upgrade. It's a total phase shift. We are blasting into a brand new frontier.
Just look at this timeline. This is all from the last few weeks. This isn't your normal yearly product cycle, not even close. The top AI labs, they're basically operating on 2-week sprints. We saw massive new releases from Anthropic, Google, XAI, DeepSeek, and yeah, of course, OpenAI, all tumbling out within days of each other. The pace is absolutely insane.
And a huge breakthrough here is what's called the context window. The newest models can now chew on 1 million tokens, and you can think of tokens as basically pieces of words, all at once. That's enough power to digest several long novels or an entire company's codebase in a single command.
And then you've got just the sheer scale of it all. The new DeepSeek V4 model, for example, has 1 trillion parameters. These are like the virtual knobs and dials the AI uses to learn. A number that big just creates a whole new ceiling for what these things are capable of.
But here's the really crucial part. The race isn't just about raw power anymore. Now it's about unique skills. OpenAI is giving its models native control over your computer. DeepSeek's new monster model is open weight, which means any developer anywhere can build on top of it. And Google's Gemini is setting brand new public records for reasoning. The entire field is just accelerating in every single direction at once.
But while all these brilliant minds are building these incredible new digital brains up in the cloud, the reality back down here on Earth is, well, it's a very different story.
So let's flip the coin and look at the other side of this great divergence. Because at the exact same moment we're having this AI boom, multiple global crises are hitting a boiling point. In the Middle East, the US and Israel have been engaged in sustained airstrikes on Iran. Tehran is reporting significant civilian casualties. And in response, Iran has launched its own missiles, hitting Tel Aviv and several neighboring Gulf states. The whole region is being pushed closer and closer to a much wider war. This quote from President Trump really shows you just how high the stakes have gotten. He threatened to basically cripple Iran's entire power grid before later putting the strikes on hold, citing diplomatic progress. Though it's worth noting, Iran denies any such progress was made. This is what diplomacy on a razor's edge looks like. At the very same time, Cuba is in the middle of a severe humanitarian crisis. A U.S. fuel blockade has pushed its hospital system to the brink of collapse and caused power outages across the entire country. The situation there is so bad, the Cuban military is actually making preparations for a potential U.S. military strike. And the human cost here is just devastating. Right now, there are 11,000 children in Cuba waiting for surgery because the system has simply run out of basic medical supplies. It's a staggering, heartbreaking number. And look, this instability isn't just happening somewhere else. Here in the U.S., a partial government shutdown means essential workers like TSA officers aren't getting paid. That's led to dangerous levels of chaos at airports, which tragically even resulted in the deaths of 2 pilots at LaGuardia. And the government's fix: deploying ICE agents to manage the airports. So you've got this insane technological leap forward happening at the same time as all this geopolitical chaos. How on earth are the markets supposed to react to that? Well, with extreme whiplash-inducing volatility. And you can see that divergence playing out right here in the markets. Stocks, even Bitcoin, they're down because of all the instability. No surprise there. But Brent oil is up 50% because of fears of a wider war, and Ethereum is up 20%. It's a pretty clear signal that the market is desperately looking for a safe place to park money that's outside of the traditional systems. Okay, I know, this is a lot. The scale of the AI is mind-boggling. The world situation is incredibly tense. It can all feel, well, pretty overwhelming. So let's bring it all the way down to a practical, individual level. How can you actually start using some of this new AI power for yourself, like today? Here are 4 tools that put this crazy new tech right in your hands. You can use Blue Dot to automatically record and summarize all your meetings.
Zapier AI lets you connect thousands of different apps to automate just about anything using plain English. Whisperflow lets you dictate emails and messages way faster than you could ever type. And Perplexity Comet is like an AI copilot for research that can save you hours of digging through websites. These are real, tangible ways you can tap into this revolution right now.
And that brings us right back to where we started. We have literally built digital minds with 1 trillion moving parts, while we are still getting tangled up in conflicts that feel like they're from the Stone Age. The technology is here, and it's getting exponentially more powerful by the day. So the profound question this all leaves us with is, which of these two things are we going to choose to scale? Will we use these incredible new tools to solve our oldest, hardest problems? Or will our oldest problems just drag these new tools down into the mud with us?